Hey guys, the other day I came across a new channel called Hammer 357 Mag. I think he's got like 5 subscribers, so go take a look at his channel and see if you like it. I noticed in one of his videos he was having trouble with this Firesteel. I got this one at Sports Authority for $5.99, and his basically fell apart. The rod came out of the handle and the lanyard came apart and his striker was garbage. And yeah, Magnum, yes, when you buy this right out of the package, it's garbage. I completely took the lanyard off and put on some paracord. I took the striker it came with and took it off and pretty much just held it aside and put this Light My Fire striker on it because it's flat. Buddy, if this sucks. I don't like the teeth on it. It's bad for your ferro rod, and I know you were using the jimping on your knife, and I would recommend you don't do that because it gouges your ferro rod, and it's just, personally, I think it's just bad for it. I'd rather use a flat edge like this, or maybe the back of a knife, so you get a nice clean strike and you don't gouge out your ferro rod. Alright, that being said, Hammer 357 Mag did fix up his ferro rod. He glued the striker back into the handle and he fixed the cording and all that, but I noticed he was having a hard time striking it. So I'll get into that in just a second. Right now I just wanted to talk about ferro rods for a minute. Like I said, this one was $5.99 at Sports Authority. This is pretty much the cheapest ferro rod you can get in a store. You can buy them cheaper online, but in a store this is probably the cheapest thing you're going to be able to find. This is a Firesteel. These cost about $14 and they're smaller. Now basically these two things are pretty much exactly the same thing. The only difference is this one, the Firesteel, is a little bit easier to strike. Aside from that, they're both essentially the same thing. Now again, that being said, this Aurora fire starter, which guys, don't buy this, this is garbage, is basically the same thing as these as well. Every manufacturer pretty much has their own recipe for doing things, but for making these rods, but basically they're all the same. Some are a little bit better, some not so much, but basically they all work the same, and none of them is really much better than the other. Certainly not worth the $14 price for this compared to the $5 price for this. And the Aurora Firestarter, when I bought this brand new, 25 bucks. Complete waste of time. Yeah, it's grippy, you can handle it well, it's waterproof with the O-ring here, but who cares? It doesn't matter if the rod gets wet to start with. And the little striker on here that it comes with is garbage. It doesn't do sparks very well at all. You really have to struggle with it. Most people I know of that have this hate it. Guys, don't buy it, it's a waste of time. If you are going to buy a more expensive Firesteel, I'd recommend the Strike Force. This is badass, guys. Look at that rod compared to these. It's thick, it's beefy, it's going to last a very long time, and it throws off great sparks. And in the back of it you've got some tender. Now I've already done a review on this, but anyway, since I'm doing a video about fire rods, I figured I'd include this too. Oh yeah, and this here, this is just a little Firesteel I threw on my Maxpedition single sheath with my multi-tool, but I'll get to that in a minute when I start striking. Alright guys, that's about all I got for the Firesteels. In general, like I said, there's many makes and models. Some of them are really expensive because the handle might be made of titanium. It could cost you 50 bucks or more. But basically the rod itself is going to be the same whether it's this or this. $14, $5.95 for this. They're both basically the same. This one does work a little bit better than this, but it's not really worth the $10 more you're going to pay for it. Alright guys, if you give me a second to set up, I will come back and start doing proper striking technique. Thanks. Alright guys, I'm back. Now I want to get into proper ferro rod technique. Alright, first of all, if you have this striker, take a Dremel and grind these teeth off of it, or use a file, because like I said before, it just gouges your ferro rod. Alright, anyway, that's just trash. Alright, this is just your standard cotton ball soaked in petroleum jelly. There is all kinds of man-made tenders that you can use like this, from dryer lint to this is a cotton ball that's been soaked in wax. I don't like this as much as the petroleum jelly. This tends to burn down and stop at the wax line unless you crunch up the wax. This does burn longer than the petroleum jelly. I just don't like it as well. You don't have to use petroleum jelly. You can use hair care products. I got this and this at the Dollar General. They both work great, work just as good as Vaseline. This stuff actually works a little better because it has beeswax in it, so it makes it burn a little bit longer. Also, you can use this to start your fires with. Some hand sanitizer. But anyway, I don't like to practice on cotton balls because really it's just too easy to use. But for the sake of demonstration, I will. When you are using your ferro rod, there's a couple of things that you can do that's correct and something you can do that's not correct, which is this. Don't do that. It may work. In fact, I know it'll work. It just doesn't work very well. You see that? I'm smacking my tender around. I got it to work, but I'm smacking the cotton ball around. That is improper technique. Proper technique would be to hold this still, like such, put the ferro rod beneath it, and pull back. It concentrates the sparks into one area, and you're not flicking your tender away. That's proper ferro rod technique, just like that. Also, what you can do is if you have a hard surface like this, you can just sit here and grind on it like that, and that'll work. Anyway, that's proper ferro rod technique. But to close this out, I figured I would show you how to start a fire in wet conditions with a ferro rod. Now, down here in Florida, we got a lot of dead pine trees. And as you can see, I've been soaking this in water during the video. And actually, I soaked it a little while ago too. This is fat wood. You can find it in old, dead pine trees. It's where resin has collected around the knots in the trees and down towards the stump. If you can find this stuff, which, to be honest with you, stuff is easy to find. They sell it in grocery stores too, but it's a waste of money because you can easily find it. Let's see. What I like to do is take the serrated part of my knife, if I can find the damn thing. Here we go. And just tap off some of the moisture. And just scrape it. See there? You want to make it nice and fine. I didn't even really need to do that much, but let's see. Put that right there. Scrape that up in a little pile. Put this blade away and get out the saw blade, which works really well for this, and just, no, they didn't do it. Let's see. There it is. That is starting fire in wet conditions. This stuff will burn wet. Because it's so resinous, the moisture from rain and stuff doesn't soak in. It's a waterproof barrier. Hey, it went out. How dare you? Don't prove me wrong. There we go. Anyway, like I said, that's starting a fire in wet conditions. Tried to make a lie out of me, but the bottom line is it does work. Alright guys, I guess that's all I got for you today. Have a good one. See you next time.